Yeah, the baseball season kind of like a long train ride. 112 games for the Buccos tonight as they take on the Padres, who make a stop here in Pittsburgh. Game 2 of the 3-game series. The Pirates try to stop an 8-game losing streak thanks to the band. They allowed us to take the stage, and they'll be on the stage later tonight after the ball game. Steve, a bit of a skid for the Buccos, and it all starts with pitching.
Absolutely. You just got to find a way to get the train back on the track. You hope it's with pitching, but if they need to out-hit them, that'll work too.
Take a look at where the Pirates are in terms of their mound presence.
The big number there, the starters' ERA, 3.51 to 6.14.
The guy on the hill tonight for the Buccos, their veteran left-hander. I think, Steve, he likes this challenge of trying to stop this streak dead in its tracks.
And it's up to Paul Maholm to do it tonight. He needs to keep the ball in the ballpark, and he's pitched very well in this ballpark.
It is Paul Maholm, the veteran lefty, one strikeout shy of 700 for his career. It's the Pirates and Padres after the game train. During the game, we'll talk to lead singer Pat Monahan. Your Turn to Root is coming up next.
Next on Root Sports. Let me know your dreams. Let's go.
Definitely worth the click. Let's go Bucks. Barrel Automotive, barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. Let's go Bucks.
Well, it's a great night for a sky blast. Pirates and Padres meeting in Game 2 of the 3-game series, the first and only trip in for the Friars. Of course, they pounded the Bucks last night. Paul Maholm will try and put that behind him and his teammates. Here is the lineup that he will face. Cameron Maben will lead things off for Bud Black's club. Jason Bartlett hits second, then Chase Headley, who last night hit a grand slam, his first of his career. And it's Jesus Guzman and Orlando Hudson. Aaron Cunningham starts in right field. Will Venable has the night off against the lefty. Kyle Blanks, Rob Johnson, Corey Lupke. The starting 9 for the Padres.
Start number 24 for Paul, and career start number 5 against the San Diego Padres. He is 0-3 against the Pods, looking for his first career win against them, coming off a kind of a funny appearance, funny start against the Cubs. 6 innings, was rolling along, gave up 4, wound up on the wrong end of a 5-3 game.
.84 degrees at game time. Ball 1 to Cameron Maben. 3 for 5, scored a pair last night. And an easy comebacker. Stabbed by Mahalam. 1 up and 1 down.
Well, last night we were very concerned going into the game about the running game of the Padres. They lead the major leagues in stolen bases, but they didn't steal too many. They didn't have to. They just knocked the cover off the ball. So still important for Paul to keep track of the running game, because that's what the Padres do.
And here is the defense. Wood and Pierce on the corner. Cedeno Walker up the middle. Ludwig, McCutchen, Diaz, and McHenry catches Mahalam. Brandon Wood starting at third base. Pedro Alvarez getting the night off, and Steve Pierce at first base. Derek Lee getting better but not ready yet to start. Strike 1 on Jason Bartlett. And Bartlett takes a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Bartlett last night 0 for 3, scored a run, a couple of walks.
Left out of the party. Now, every pitcher has little quirks. Now, as you watch Paul Mahalam, he will, during the course of the game, take his hat off twice, put it back on gently both times, easily putting the hat back on the head.
Yeah,
just little mannerisms.
Yep.
Paul does that. You'll see it. It'll happen sooner than later. Nobody ever put a baseball hat on more gently.
Yeah.
Doug Drabeck used to pick at the front of his shirt. You know, everybody has the mannerisms.
One ball, 2 strikes to count. Mahalam looking for win number 7. Two and 2. Also, Mahalam 1 strikeout shy of 700 for his career. Only 3 lefties in team history since 1900 striking out that many batters. Bob Veal, of course, all-time lefty, 1,652. Wilbur Cooper, 1,196 punch-outs, and John Candelaria, 1,159. So though Mahalam trails those 3 considerably, still quite an achievement. And we talk about it quite often, with Mahalam continuing to rack up innings and starts. Really an elite group of starting pitchers, lefties or righties, in Pirates history. And there is the strikeout. 700 for his career. Nice number, Steve.
The 700 Club.
Yeah.
Downstairs. Vintage Paul Mahalam. Milestones come along and they're appreciated. Probably more after you get through playing than now, but they're in the books.
Now Chase Headley with that grand slam last night. Takes a strike. Lefties with 700 or more strikeouts in Pirates history. We said since 1900 there were only 3 others. Also Ed Morris. Easy Ed, 1885 of the Pirates. 0-2.
I remember my rookie year with Bob Veal when he struck out 250 right on the nose. It was a National League leading number. 250 strikeouts for Bob Veal.
And 1,128 innings pitched. You know, since 1950, only 15 other pitchers have thrown that many innings for the Pirates.
Good try. Good try. Just off the outside corner. Strike zone presented by Range Resources. Just off. That's a really terrific 0-2 pitch. Now let's see if they come back inside or they want to stay away. Back in. Oh, no. Well, that's where Michael wanted it, but Paul did not deliver. Another try for that outside corner.
No, says home plate umpire Ted Barrett.
Strike zone presented by Range Resources. Once again verifying that ball just missing outside. Won't argue with the grid.
There's Ted Barrett. Brian Runge at first. At second base, Marvin Hudson, and the crew chief, Tim McClellan. He was behind the plate last night.
The mysterious Tim McClellan, who you can never know when he punches up a strike. He's got the fist in front of his chest.
Well, he got ahead of Headley. It now walks him with 2 outs, and it will bring up Jesus Guzman. Guzman hitting .340 with 5 homers and 25 runs batted in. Getting the chance to play some first base for these Padres. Had a couple of hits last night, including his 5th home run of the season. That came in the 8th inning off Daniel McCutchen.
I don't know if I wanted to have Paul have a 1-2-3 inning, because Jeff Carson's had that last night and then it blew up on him.
And the runner goes. Pitch is taken for a strike. Late throw. A stolen base for Chase Headley, 13 for him. Caught just twice.
They're the running Padres. With that big ballpark that doesn't give up much offense in San Diego, that's the direction they decided to go. If we can't hit the ball all the way around the ballpark, we'll run the guys all the way around the ballpark.
They lead the majors in stolen bases, 127 of them. 14th highest total in franchise history. The most in 10 years, when they stole 129 in 2001. And again, they're at 127. And their success rate over 80%.
Well, sometimes you have to tailor your ball club to your ballpark.
And a strike called. So it's 1-2 on Guzman. Tight 2-2. Mahalam's first start this season against the Padres, looking for his first career win versus San Diego. In 4 previous starts, 0-3, 3.71 ERA. And now it's 3-2 with Orlando Hudson on deck. Mahalam frustratedly snaps at the ball.
A couple of quick outs and working to get that number 3. If you want to stick around in this heat, and there's been a lot of heat, you want to be efficient in a lot of different innings so you can extend your outing.
And there is a strikeout, foul tip. 2 Ks in the inning, 701 for his career. The Pirates come to bat. looks like this. Andrew McCutchen riding a 6-game hitting streak will lead off. Then Matt Diaz in right. Neil Walker hits third. Ryan Ludwig 4 hits last night. Will be followed by Steve Pearce, Brandon Wood bats 6th, Ronnie Cedeno, Michael McHenry, and Paul Mahalam.
26-year-old youngster left-hander Corey Lupke, his 8th start, 3-6, 3.21 ERA. Numbers for this young left-hander out of Coldwater, Ohio. You'd think Coldwater be like Colorado or something. Oklahoma. Coldwater, Ohio.
An Ohio State product. Former battery mate Eric Fryer was with the Pirates for a while, but was optioned when Ryan Domit returned from the DL. 0-2 on McCutchen, 1 for 4 last night. Eleventh career start for Lupke. Made his big league debut September last year. And a pop up. Way up there, second baseman Hudson. 1 up and 1 down. Corey Lupke, his last time out. Lupke against the Dodgers, 7 1/3, 5 runs, 10 hits. Late swing and a miss there from Diaz. Season average of .267. Diaz batting .304 over his last 27 games since the end of June. He has done solid work against lefties over the last couple of weeks. Hitting .385 versus southpaws. One ball, 2 strikes on Diaz. Bucks are 18-12 when an opponent starts a lefty. Diaz down on strikes. Brings up Neil Walker. 2 for 6 last night, and earlier within the past hour received the Heart and Hustle Award, Steve. Hit to Colby.
Yep, the alumni presents that. Major League alumni. Teague making the presentation. Another notch in the belt for Neil Walker.
And Teague representing the alumni. Heart and Hustle Award. Neil Walker. Count is 0-2 on the Pirates' second baseman.
A lot of work out of the bullpen for Lupke. Last time out, he started against the Dodgers, and they touched him up a little bit. 7 innings, 5 earned runs.
Career high 7 1/3 innings for him.
Came up through the system last year, AA, AAA, a combined 10-1 record. Earned in 3 starts with a big club in September. 6'4", 206 pounds, 26-year-old Corey Lupke.
Clayton Richard on the disabled list and out for the year. Left-handed starter. Underwent season-ending left shoulder surgery recently. Into center field, Maben makes the catch, and the Bucks go down in order. Through 1, 0-0. Padres, Pirates. And lead singer from Train throwing at the first pitch. Steve, drum roll. Is it going to be any good?
Oh,
it is a perfect strike to Jason Grilli.
Looked like a good breaking ball. Dropped down into the zone. Good stuff.
I'll tell you, that never happens, Pat. You were obviously practicing.
Yeah, whenever somebody asks me what I use as hair product, it's Vaseline. So I was ready to go.
You were ready to go. Yep, they never caught you.
Yep.
We're really pleased that Pat joins us here, and of course we're really anxious. Steve and I big fans of the band, and anxious to watch it tonight. Sky Blast, and kind of back to your roots, right? Erie, PA.
Yeah, man, Erie, PA. This is where it all began for me. I was a huge Dave Parker, Kentra Colby in the sidearm pitch, man. That meant everything to me. And there's a picture of him downstairs, so I got to show my kids. Look at that guy.
Right. Well, there's a real buzz around this ballpark in this town, having you guys come into town for this concert tonight. So we're really looking forward to it, and glad you could make it.
Well, Pat, how often do you get back to the area?
It used to be a lot, like maybe 8 times a year. My dad's 84; he's still great, and but now because we've been so busy, maybe twice. And so this is really helpful because then I get to see people that I love and know from the area, and they are huge Pirate fans and season ticket holders.
That is neat. Orlando Hudson down the line and left leads off with a base hit off Paul Mahalam. Pat Monahan from Train on hand with us here in the booth, and will be performing with the band, and earlier signing his jersey. And who's that going to? You didn't just toss that just to anybody, did you?
No, I asked him if he wanted it.
Oh my gosh! I mean, that's pretty cool.
He looked like he was in need of a Pirates jersey.
Jeez!
The poor kid back there is mad at me.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I don't blame him.
One is never enough.
He's just like, man, I'm never going to go to that guy's concerts.
That is wild.
Hey, you talked about your dad. How is he handling the way your career path has gone? How is he enjoying that?
You know, my dad he's a pretty inspiring guy because he's in great shape, but he also always cared about people a lot. So, you know, he made it easy that when success came to me, I wanted to be more like him and just always treat people with kindness. In fact, more now than less, you know. And so when I see these ball players sign little kids' jerseys and their baseballs, it means a lot. The guys who aren't going to get the full experience, you know, which is they're changing people's lives in a great way, and they get to do that, so they should be embracing it.
So you've kept that in mind with all your fans. That's pretty
of course.
neat.
Yeah,
and it just takes a minute to make somebody happy.
You know, what they're doing for these kids is beyond really their own imagination. You know, they're changing a culture, really.
That's great to keep track of that.
Yeah.
And that, I would think that helps everything stay grounded.
Yeah, you know, my dad would always tell me stories about, even though he was from Erie, PA, he was a huge Ted Williams fan. And so he would always talk about Ted never, ever once looked back at the ump, meaning even though he may not have liked the call, he never expressed it.
Well, that's great to keep in mind because it's interesting this summer. Bob Walk and I were talking about this, one of our other broadcast partners, that as the temperature has risen, it seems throughout baseball we are seeing more confrontations these days with players and umpires, and you know, at times it can get ugly. But that's a great point to show respect.
Yeah, it may have been a different era as well. You know, I think maybe nowadays it's entertainment definitely plays a big role.
McHenry makes the play off the bat of Aaron Cunningham, moving Hudson to second. So you're in the second inning.
You've got your roller skates on. You're all over the place. What part of a tour is this?
Man, we have only been about 10 days into it, and we have about 50 more days, probably about 43 more shows. We only have about a day off every 10 days, but I like it that way.
Now, have you played baseball venues before, Pat? You and Train?
You know, we opened the season for the Giants because the band started in San Francisco.
Oh,
so
neat.
The song Save Me San Francisco they use, and the California Angels, they use our song Calling All Angels when their team comes out. So Pirates are next.
I was going to say,
write that Pirates song.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
The Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Something will come.
Yeah, something will come.
Well, that is really cool.
Man, I love how these guys are playing this year. They're really, they really want to win, and they really can win, which is great.
It's been a spark around the city, it really has.
Fly ball to left, that could be trouble, and it is. As Ludwig has a little bit of trouble, the ball gets past him. So Blanks is going to wind up at third base on what looked like certainly a short double. And it's 1-0 San Diego.
Yeah, and Ryan Ludwig, who's not played a lot of left field here recently, kind of overruns this bounce, goes over, and then
took a wicked turn, spin off the grass.
A lot of English, and that ball actually off the plate.
So it's going to go as a triple for Blanks.
Man, all the Pirates fans listening to this are asking for you to get rid of the guy you're interviewing.
You know what? We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it.
Man, I wish this guy would shut up.
Well, Dan, what about this view across the river? I mean, you can't paint this, can you?
It looks so beautiful.
And now, Pat, have you been here to this ballpark before? Is this it for you?
I used to come to this field quite a bit, but I usually would come and see the Steelers play. I remember years ago talking to Franco Harris on the phone from my father's clothing store. So just the city of Pittsburgh has been a huge inspiration for me as a kid, and even now. This is pretty inspiring.
And I don't suppose you've played a Sky Blast type concert before, have you? This is pretty neat.
Playing 2 songs and then fireworks and then 2 songs and fireworks, etc. has never happened before.
Yeah, how's the rhythm?
I don't know. I'll let you know after we either succeed or not.
Well, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, you will succeed.
Yeah.
People are fired up to see Train in concert tonight.
Yeah, it's fun to hear that all these seats got sold today. And even if we played a small role in that, I love that. That's pretty great.
Huge role.
And when you get a breather in between the songs, the vibrations and the echoes coming off the buildings, dig your heels in because it sounds like a war.
Do you have a favorite of your songs? Is there one favorite? Do you not like to say that?
It's hard to say. I love the song "Marry Me," which is just this little song that kind of came out of nowhere and has been played at just about every wedding this year. Which is, I love to think that something that I've done is kind of out there in the world doing good things.
That is cool.
And there you go.
Sacrifice fly as Rob Johnson flies to center field. 2-0, 2 outs. Corey Lupke will come to the plate. We fully anticipate Paul Mahalam retiring this pitcher. So we'll thank Pat Monahan and wish you the very best, Pat.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, guys.
It was a treat meeting you.
A pleasure to meet you for sure.
And
Steve and I are going to be right here watching this concert.
Every time we perform or I do the anthem, I can't remember the last time a team lost. So even though it looks 2-0, it's a long ways from over.
Absolutely.
So we're about to come back.
Thanks a million.
All right.
Pat.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Great.
Pat Monahan from Train will be performing at Sky Blast, and as he said, going to be his first opportunity to perform a Sky Blast and his first concert here at PNC Park. The Erie, Pennsylvania native, and that was an impressive strike he threw to Jason Grilli. And now this man wants to throw some strikes to his mound opponent, Corey Lupke. Paul Mahalam certainly doesn't want to lose Lupke, and falls behind 3-0. As frustrated as Mahalam is now, imagine. Lupke 1 for 16 at the plate. And a strike. Well, he's a good guy, Pat Monahan, isn't he?
He seems like he's got his act together, and you never know what to expect when a performer, rock and roll guy, professional singer comes in, whether it's going to be out in left field or grounded, and certainly grounded from what we could take from Pat.
We can only take from Pat that his folks, his family, obviously from Erie, PA, meant a lot to him, and he is very well grounded, as you can tell. And there's a liner to center field, and Lupke on a 3-2 pitch singles in front of McCutchen. So the second inning turning out
like last night.
Yeah, a little bit like it, to be quite honest with you.
Good first inning, and then some opponents' action. As Padres coming into this series as a team with the worst team batting average in the National League. There was no signs of that last night.
still with the worst average in the league. 234 is the team batting average for the San Diego Padres. They'd hit the fewest home runs in the National League coming into the series. Here's Cameron Maybin.
But all those totals better than they were before last night's game.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
The Padres scored 15 runs on 15 hits. Season high 4 home runs.
You know, just when we start to hit, and the Pirates were 15 hits last night.
Yeah.
The Pirates have been scoring runs. Just when we start to score, the pitching goes south for a period of time.
A little dribbler foul. Last night it was Karstens going just 3 1/3. Tuesday night, Correa didn't get an out in the 3rd. They are seated next to each other there, and Correa is scheduled to go tomorrow afternoon. Brad Lincoln is now with the club. We assume that Lincoln will be available then in the bullpen, at least for the next couple of days. And a 1-ball 2-strike count on Cameron Maybin.
Yeah, the Pirate bats doing some work, but in this homestand, 39 runs before tonight, 39 runs in 5 games. That's almost 8 a game. I mean, that's too tough to overcome.
There's Brad Lincoln. Tonight was his scheduled night to start for AAA Indy, 2-2.
And Paul Mahalam searching for that elusive comfort zone, that rhythm. Throwing a bunch of pitches early in this ball game.
Did he go? Yes. According to Brian Runge. So they scored 2. And again, our thanks to Pat Monahan of Train. And boy, there's a happy fan. Of the inning, the check swing, and then the appeal.
Granted.
They ring him up. Our key matchup of the day from Day Automotive last night. Ryan Ludwig, the former Padre, 4 for 4, career .333 average against San Diego, and a fly ball deep to right to the wall, and out number 1. Ludwig flies toward the wall.
Strike zone presented by Range Resources. fly ball to right field. Simple as that.
Steve Pearce hitting .225. Popped up. And Steve Pearce will be retired. 4 of the first 5 men have flied out or popped up against Corey Lupke. He'll now face Brandon Wood. He will start at third base for Pedro Alvarez against the left-hander.
Lupke coming into the game averaging a strikeout per inning, even though most of his work was out of the bullpen. His first start the latter part of June.
One ball, one strike. One ball, 2 strikes, the count on Wood, 2 outs, nobody on. And it's 2-2. Still 2-2. Padres have done a number on the Pirates here at PNC Park. They have won 7 in a row here in the Pirates' home yard and are 24-9 all time at PNC Park. So things certainly have changed since the days of Three Rivers when the Friars came into the old stadium. 3-2.
And when they first came into being, everybody beat them up. And that's what happens to a new franchise. Happened to the Expos.
And down on strikes goes Brandon Wood. 6 up, 6 down for Lupke. Padres up 2-0. App for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit pirates.com for details. Good crowd here at PNC Park. Good crowd there on the Majestic. So far, not so good in terms of the scoreboard. Pirates need to get it going offensively, and Mahalam needs to shut them down here with Bartlett, Headley, and Guzman coming to the plate. Bartlett struck out his first time. Bartlett loves the month of August. Career batting average this month, .336. Among active players in the National League, that is third best behind only Todd Helton and Albert Pujols. A lot of Clint Hurdle fans.
Hurdle for president.
How about that? I'll have to ask
That's strong.
Clint Hurdle about that, huh?
When that sign comes up on an 8-game skid.
Yeah. Center field and a base hit for Bartlett to start the third. Fourth hit for San Diego. Mahalam again frustrated.
Maybe these stats that we saw about the Padres are wrong on the paper.
Maybe they're not last, maybe they're first in the league in hitting.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, one thing for sure, they are a running team. Those stats aren't lying. Headley stole second in the first inning. Jason Bartlett is tied for 8th in the league in steals with 22 in 30 attempts.
Is that some kind of golden bat that Headley is using? Funny looking finish on it. Worked last night for him, grand slam.
He's a .353 hitter this season from this side of the plate. Hit the grand slam as a left-hand batter against Karstens. That's a double play ball. And there's 1 and 2. Cedeno to Walker to Pierce, routine.
Tailor-made. Tailor-made, room service, however you want to call it.
Great look as always from the AGH cam. Neil Walker, third baseman. Brandon Wood to Steve Pierce. That'll do it. 6-pitch inning. Well, Mahalam needed that. Go to the bottom of the third inning. Cedeno, McHenry, Mahalam due up. And train. Rooting on the Buccos here in the third inning. Ronnie Cedeno. Paul Mahalam, a quick third inning after the leadoff hit.
That's more like Paul.
The home plate umpire said Cedeno offered. 0-2. Again, that's Ted Barrett. Fastball missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cedeno. Couple of hits, a run scored, an RBI, and a walk last night. Pirates trying to snap this 8-game losing streak. They've dropped 13 of their last 16, and Cedeno hits a ball in the air. Another fly ball out. Brings up McHenry. All tickets purchased now through midnight tomorrow. The Pirates are paying all service fees. This deal includes any ticket purchased for any of the remaining home games the rest of the season. So don't miss out on the great promotions, key divisional matchups, fireworks, and more. For tickets, go to Pirates.com. Now through midnight tomorrow. Go to Pirates.com. Pirates are paying all service fees.
Great shot of our favorite fans.
How rested must McHenry feel after the workload that guy's had? And there's a drive to right center field. Michael McHenry off the base of the wall in right center and into second with a 1-out double. McHenry, he was able to get some rest the last 2 nights. Doman started behind the plate.
Strike zone presented by Range Resources. Gives him a chance to extend his arms. Big ride to right center field. Slows it down. You can see the contact.
Broken bat chopper. Lupke. And the first to get Mahalam. Henry's 8th double of the season off the padded wall in right center. And a 2-out hit clutch from Kutch. Sitting on 64 runs batted in. Popped up his first time to the second baseman. He has reached base safely in 32 of his last 33 games played here at PNC Park. That dates back to June the 4th.
What you might like to see is Pirates get on the board and maybe turn the game that the Padres like to play back on themselves. See how Mr. Lupke could handle a running game.
Rifled into the seats. And tomorrow, Kids Day here at the ballpark. All youngsters 14 and under get an Andrew McCutchen drawstring bag courtesy of Bayer. Come out early for the #1 Cochran Kids Fun Zone right outside the ballpark on Federal Street, and kids can run the bases after the game thanks to H.K. Anderson Pretzels. Go to Pirates.com for tickets. A neat item for the youngsters tomorrow. Kids Kutch drawstring bag. 0-2 count on McCutchen. Wanted him to chase, he didn't.
Almost looks like an Andrew McCutchen shirt.
It does, yeah.
The green weenie.
The green weenie, huh?
Well, desperate times call for desperate measures. The old green weenie.
Bob Prince, the gunner, and a swing and a miss. McCutchen strikes out with man in scoring position. 2-0 Padres.
on Root Sports is sponsored by Toyota. Buy right the first time and save more. Visit your local Toyota dealer for details. And by AT&T. Let's go Bucks!
The trivia question is brought to you by AT&T Mobility, and we check out tonight's question regarding Bud Black, the skipper of the Padres, pitched 15 seasons in the majors, winning 121 games for 5 teams. Can you name the teams? Want to start things off, Steve?
San Francisco.
All right.
That's when the battery was Black and Decker.
Yeah, Steve Decker and Bud Black.
We'll just stay on the West Coast. Angels.
Okay.
Pawtucket.
Major league teams. Ground ball right side. And Neil Walker picks the ball up and just throws it toward first.
Everybody's backing up properly. Go tag him now in case he made a turn. He's okay. Kind of in no man's land. Neil Walker has a long way to go, and then he's rolling around trying to release that throw. Gets away from Paul, but Michael McHenry is doing his job. Not that it was going to go anywhere. See, it hits the heel of Neil's glove. If he keeps it in the glove, he's got a shot to make the play. But now it gets back down on the ground, and the AGH camera shows you all of that in detail.
Aaron Cunningham bounced in front of the plate his first time.
1 steal so far for the Padres.
Well, happy birthday, JR. Yeah, Lynn Kane, JR, late JR Kane, longtime Pirate fan. Thinking about great Pirate fans of all time, J.R. Kane.
Down that right field line,
yep.
Most every weekend at home.
We lost him too soon. Aaron Cunningham, 1-0 count. Homered as a pinch hitter last night in the 7th inning. 2-0.
Holland employing the quick slide step, trying for the quick release with a potential base stealer at first base.
Yeah, Hudson 14 steals, 16 attempts.
If he guesses right and leaves early, quick move over to first base, there's no chance to get him if he guesses right. If he guesses wrong and takes off early, then you get him going to second base.
The other way. That is a fair ball off the short fence. It'll be 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. Aaron Cunningham playing in just his 13th game this season. Goes the other way. And now it brings up Kyle Blanks. Sending Hudson along to third.
Well, Tony Gwynn is in the building tonight doing a TV game for the Padres. He's got to be enjoying this, the way they're hitting the ball.
Now the infield shortens up against this big man. Kyle Blanks credited with an RBI triple in the 2nd inning. He hit a ball halfway up the foul pole in left field last night. There is Tony Gwynn.
Dick Enberg. A couple of Hall of Famers there.
Yeah. Two-0 count.
This is an anniversary of Tony Gwynn's 3,000th hit. He is in the building.
2-0 count on Kyle Blanks. Hit foul and out of play. His 3,000th hit. August 6th, 1999 in Montreal. Off Dan Smith of the Expos. Mr. Padre, Tony Gwynn. And the dugout's empty. Class act. And a great player, obviously. And there's a liner to right field, and the catch is made by Diaz, and the runners have to hold. And wow, he just threw a bullet to the plate.
Well, that certainly is a time where you can show off your arm. Nothing to lose, just air it out. And that ball hit so well and so short to right field that Orlando Hudson didn't have time to tag up and come back in. Yeah, nothing to lose, just show off your arm in that situation. For two reasons. Nothing to lose, and the guy isn't going anywhere from third base. It's the ideal scenario. So now will they walk Johnson to get to the pitcher? Apparently not. They've shortened up. They'd rather take their shot, get this second out. If they can keep the runners where they are, then you've got a real good chance to leave them there with the pitcher representing the third out. You can go at it two different ways.
He's hitting only .201, Rob Johnson. Sacrifice fly in the second for his 14th run batted in, the former Mariners catcher.
So you can approach it that way, pitch to him, hope for good things, and then get the pitcher out for the third out. Or you can walk him. The pitcher represents the second out. You get on the other side of him, take your chances at the top of the batting order. That low average would lend you to believe that they're going to take this approach.
0-2.
And then Paul can fool around and try to get him to chase something outside the zone. Here's the strike zone presented by Range Resources. Everything downstairs.
Oh, 2 count. And a block by McHenry. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Rob Johnson. Acquired in December for a minor league player. Johnson underwent 3 off-season surgeries before the start of the 2010 season. And a base hit past Brandon Wood. This will score 2. A double for Rob Johnson, a .201 hitter, scoring Hudson and Cunningham, and now the Padres lead 4-0.
Chose to pitch to him, and he disrupted the plan. See that Wood is well off the line, so no chance for him to get that ball, and the Padres add on.
7 hits for San Diego. Hudson and Cunningham score. And the pitcher Lupke, who singled in a run in the second. Or singled in the second.
This seems like one of those whirlpool situations for our pitchers. You can't swim out of it right now.
Pitching staff that was just leading the way for the Pirates in their victories the first half of the season has certainly fallen on hard times. Mahalam's last start against the Cubs 5 days ago gave up 4 runs on 6 hits in 6 innings. And the runner breaks for third, uncontested. Standing up, Rob Johnson. And now the infield will come in.
Nothing Michael McHenry could do about that. Rob Johnson saw that he wasn't getting a lot of attention from Paul Mahalam. Took off, no contest at third base.
Back to the mound. for out number 2.
Easy as it can get. That little expression by Paul Maholm will tell you all you need to know about how he feels about the way things are going.
Maben rolls it to the shortstop, Cedeno, and he is safe. A routine ground ball turns into an infield hit. But Cedeno took too much time. Got to get rid of that ball. Speedy Maben.
Yep, that extra step. And you got to know Maben flies, but you've got to know that coming into the ball game. You have to hurry. It doesn't have to be as smooth. Maybe you don't have time to have it be smooth.
Maholm knows he just got a routine ground ball that should have been the 3rd out.
And Paul was saying some things into his glove that you don't want to hear.
So Jason Bartlett bats. It's 5-0.
I'll tell you right now, if I was Maben, I would take off because this inning is in disarray. And that's when you keep pressing. When you've got a team that is playing like this right now, you just press them even harder, and that's the way it works.
Maben tied for 5th in the league in stolen bases with 26. He has swiped 20 in a row. I mentioned that the Padres lead the major leagues in stolen bases.
It's a tough time for a pitcher to keep it together because you're furious, not just at that play. You're furious at yourself for the hits you're giving up. Hard to keep it together right here. Clear your mind as much as you can, but it's not easy to do.
This will be out of play, and 0-2 the count on Bartlett, who again has a career batting average of .336 in the month of August, 3rd highest among active players behind only Todd Helton and Albert Pujols in the National League. The pitch count for Paul Maholm up to 75 after he delivers here to Bartlett and strikes him out. And he started with an infield hit, ends with a strikeout. They score 3. to Cedeno, no doubt. Essentially saying he can't double clutch there with Maben. Strike on Diaz, who struck out in the first.
So not a good start, but you know what you got to do now? You got to pull up your big boy socks and go to work.
Sound like Mr. Hurdle. That's exactly what he would say. Pull up your big boy socks.
Yep.
The big leagues, you can't quit and go home. Grounded and fair inside the line, so Matt Diaz will lead off the inning with a double. Now, of course, Steve, you can say that you got to pull up the big boy socks, go at them, and by doing that, you have to score a run here. You can't leave that man at second base.
Yep, lead off double.
Absolute must. Down 5 in the fourth. Chase Headley giving chase on the AGH cam. Walker fly to center field in the first. Takes a strike from Corey Lupke. Barrel Automotive League leaders. Most hits among National League second baseman Neil Walker, behind the Reds' Brandon Phillips and the Marlins' Omar Infante. Barrel Automotive definitely worth the click. Being told that Brandon Phillips had a significant injury today in the Cubs' 11-4 win over the Cincinnati Reds, as the Cubs pounded Johnny Cueto. Winning 7 in a row now have the Cubs. Carlos Zambrano homered and pitched 6 solid innings.
That's vintage Zambrano,
yeah,
isn't it?
It is.
Did he pitch the opener of the series here?
I believe so.
He might have.
Here's the Brandon Phillips injury, Steve. A collision in center field.
That left knee or ankle.
Drew Stubbs sliding in. Brandon Phillips had to leave the game with a sprained right ankle. Finished the inning, but was removed for a pinch hitter in the fifth. Phillips, after the game, didn't sound as though it was going to be terribly serious.
I'll be quite honest. I didn't think it looked terribly serious.
Right. It scared, I bet you, the Reds more than anything.
Yeah, it's not like he got his legs and feet trapped under something where they could twist. I mean, the bump was there. He tumbled over.
Right.
You never know, but it didn't look horrific.
2-2 on Neil Walker. And a pop up that's going to go out of play. No question, more relaxed. We've talked about this for a while now, from this right side of the plate.
Yeah, with his number of at-bats accumulating, take it up to 250, because there was a point where he's 198 on this side of the plate.
Behind sharply. Foul ball. Count stays 2-2 now. Johnson will hand deliver the new baseball to Lupke. Talk about how they will battle Neil Walker. Another 2-2 pitch due. .65 runs batted in for Neil Walker. Last season as a rookie, drove in a total of 66.
Let's tie that mark right here.
It's a piece of it.
He's got a challenge because Lupke is a strikeout kind of a young man, averaging, as we said, a strikeout per inning. And you'd love to move the runner over to third base at least, but when you got your work cut out for you against a guy that gets a lot of strikeouts, it's not automatic that you can put the bat on the ball. Good take there. People who have not played at this level can not have any appreciation of how tough it is to lay off pitches in 2-strike situations. I mean, you're trying, you know the heat's on, 2 strikes, and you're trying to make contact. Think about anything you can do to hit the ball, and then you have to take a borderline pitch. You don't want to be rung up ever.
Still 3-2.
And to have the discipline to take that pitch that's close, knowing it's going to be a ball, that takes some stomach.
Last year after the All-Star break, he drove in 54 runs, tied with Albert Pujols for 3rd among all National Leaguers.
Albert doesn't finish in 3rd place too many categories either.
Speaking of Albert, he homered for the Cardinals in their ball game in Miami. They lead 2-0, the Cardinals, in the 3rd. 26 now for Pujols. 3-2 pitch. Another foul ball.
That's a dozen pitches in this at bat.
This will be 12 coming up. Ryan Ludwig on deck. Off the middle. Base hit, RBI.
There's number 66. What a great at bat by Neil Walker. A dozen pitches till he found something they could get up through the middle for the RBI single. The Pirates on the board. Don't have to give up an out on the right side to get the runner over. Well done, young man.
Twelfth pitch on the AGH cam. Up the middle to drive home Diaz from 2nd. Neil Walker. Diaz will score without a throw to make it a 5-1 game. Now it's Ludwig. And a pop-up. Maben in center. So the first out.
You know, you hear every once in a while, Greg, from people say, oh, why'd he swing at the first pitch? My goodness, he got an out that quick. Why didn't he look at some? You know what? If you start looking at first pitches all the time and find yourself falling behind in the count, I mean, it's easy to be critical after the
isn't
fact.
Sometimes the first pitch of an at-bat maybe the best pitch
and,
that you'll get?
And what if you succeed? You know,
right.
People making judgments in that. If you get the base hit, boy, it's wonderful. You didn't wait around. You took your shot when you thought you should.
Steve Pearce takes a strike.
You know, if you don't get it done, there's all kind of criticism. If you get it done, it doesn't matter how. But then if you don't get it done, everybody wants to offer advice how you could have gotten it done.
Lukey out in front, 0-2.
Just a little sidebar here. You get the ball up to left field in the air right now. There's a significant wind blowing across from right field to left field. You can see a lot of carry in that direction.
Ball gets away and Walker takes off. Scoring position now. Wild pitch gets past Rob Johnson.
Clank?
Yeah, right off his glove. Pearce, hate to keep harping on it, but since coming off the disabled list, just 2 hits in 27 at bats.
It's way out of the strike zone. Not to be critical, but that's the kind of breaking ball from a left-hander that the left-handers get the left-hand batters out with. They'll chase that ball that keeps moving away from them. This one coming down and in, and Steve was not able to stop the swing.
Pearce was doing certainly good work before he was placed on the DL July 22nd with the strained right calf. And he has not found his swing since his return. Ball one on Brandon Wood. And to the shortstop. Little bobble. Bartlett plenty of time to get Brandon Wood. Pirates get one. 5-1 through 4. Played for 5 teams. Can you name them? I know you said San Francisco. 1. Not the Angels. Seattle, KC, Cleveland, and Toronto. A couple of stints with Cleveland. I know that's what you meant, Steve.
Yeah, well, that's like a sentence to go to Cleveland twice.
Ooh. 1 ball, 1 strike on Headley. Guzman next, then Hudson. Bounce to Cedeno. And 1 out. And one of those teams, as you saw, he played for Toronto, Bud Black. And speaking of Toronto, where the Hockey Hall of Fame is, a little segue into our good buddy Doc Emmerich.
Yep. Congratulations, Doc.
He is going in.
You're a Hall of Famer.
Hockey Hall of Fame. And a great Pirate fan. He watches a lot. And good chance Doc Emmerich is watching right now. So congrats.
Enjoyed seeing him down at fantasy camp a few years ago. Spent a little time.
He was in, I think, last homestand to see his Pirates. Ball fouled out of play.
Remember a trip that we took up to Toronto to see the other
Our
Doc.
Doc, yeah. Doc Lang, Mike Lang.
Going to the Hall of Fame in Toronto. Great trip. It's a very impressive induction ceremony. Just so neat to see somebody receive that honor.
Ball and a strike. And a strike on Guzman. Signed as a minor league free agent. Member of the Giants organization. Couldn't hold up. Henry will have to throw to first to complete that strikeout.
Number 5 for Paul. Pirates on the board, but they trail by 4 here during the halfway mark. Sure, he went far enough. Just got to find the ball now, Michael.
Needs to retire Hudson for his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Hudson 2 out of 2. Led off the second inning. with a single to left and scored. Led off the 4th inning with the infield hit to second and scored. And yeah, nice play.
Good hand.
Reflex. Halfway through it, 5-1 Friars.
Shot.
Pretty cool. AGH Sports Medicine rotunda and left.
There's peoples everywhere.
Ball one on Cedeno. And 1-1. Cedeno flied out in the 3rd inning. 6 fly ball outs for Lupke. A couple of ground ball outs, 4 strikeouts. And 1-2. Stays a ball and 2 strikes on Cedeno. Spent some time on the disabled list. Concussion. Hitting .240 in 10 games since his return. Pirates hoping to get other players back before too long as Cedeno goes down on strikes, including Jose Tabata, who began his rehab at AAA Indy tonight. Resuming it. 5 Ks for Lupke. And McHenry, who doubled with 1 out in the 3rd inning, comes to the plate.
Impressive control so far for this 26-year-old left-hander. He's not issued a free pass. He will emphasize the 5 strikeouts. Still on his pace as he came into the game, averaging a strikeout an inning.
Padres' third lowest ERA in the league behind the Phillies and Giants. And he gets McHenry back-to-back 6. We're talking about Jose Tabata, our AGH sports medicine injury update. Strained left quad, so resuming his rehab. Tonight in Indy, 1 for 1, a walk and a run scored. Our injury update thanks to our friends at Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
On base a couple of times, so he's testing that leg.
That's good. He had started that rehab at High A-Ball Bradenton. He was down there for a week, from July 13th to the 20th, and had it stopped because he re-aggravated that left quad. Now one hopper on to first. Pirates go down quietly in the bottom half of inning number 5. They still trail it 5-1. Park. And the 6, 7, 8 men in the order for the Padres against Paul Mahalem as Clint Hurdle looks over the lineups. His club down 4 to the Padres. Here's Aaron Cunningham. Save big tomorrow by using your Giant Eagle Advantage card. Bucks and Padres meet at 1:35. Purchase tickets the day of the game. You get $5 off select reserve seats. Purchase in advance and double those savings to $10 off. To get tickets, go to pirates.com/advantage card. Bouncer to short on the first. Quickly, one away. You can also visit the PNC Park ticket windows. Mahalem gets Aaron Cunningham and faces Kyle Blanks.
Perhaps finding a little bit of a rhythm. He's retired 5 in a row. Not letting the ball get out of the infield. A couple of strikeouts and 3 ground balls. So maybe Ball's going to find that groove late in his performance. The pitches are adding up. This would be pitch number 86.
Blanks with an RBI triple in the second and lined out to right field his last time. 6'6", 272 pounds. From Souderton, PA, near Philadelphia. Broken bat bouncer to Cedeno, who's been busy. And for a guy who's as big as Blank, Steve, 6'6", 272, he gets down that line pretty good.
They're all fast.
Yeah.
They're all fast on this ball club.
We talked last night, Bob and I, that this is a guy who was the 1,241st player chosen in the 2004 draft.
Blanks?
Yeah, 42nd round.
With that body and everything?
Yeah.
He's a stud.
We always refer to Mike Piazza. Of course, Piazza was a 62nd rounder, so even later.
Yeah, but when you have an agent like Tommy Lasorda,
Yeah.
it helps.
Rob Johnson foiled the Pirates' strategy in the 4th inning. And the infield in, 1 out. He doubled down the line and left and scored 2. Taps this one to third. Scooped Wood onto first, and Paul Mahalam has indeed found his groove. Pirates now need to pick up the offense. Top of the order. Andrew McCutchen will be coming to the plate.
Things are not going well for a team. A manager may decide to shake things up. Well, after last night's loss, the 8th straight for the Pirates, manager Clint Hurdle decided to shake things up. He said, "No batting practice. I'll see you guys at 4:30.
I'm not a slave to a routine by any means. I used to be. I got out of that a while ago, and where it goes, you never know. I've had positive results for it. The results have stayed the same from it, but I just like to let them know that I'm aware and that I don't think that we've got to go out there and have to work harder and do more. They can't work any harder than they have. We can play smarter. We can play better.
Guys, I don't know if the Pirates can play any harder. They certainly are playing very hard, as is Andrew McCutchen with a shot down the left field line. But, Steve, you probably know better than Greg and I. Things like this will happen. You just have to find a way to do things differently with the hope of snapping it out of it.
Yeah, you try everything. As you said before the ballgame, you throw everything you can against the wall and hope something sticks. You find something that works. Just to break the routine. As you said, I'm not a slave to routine. And shake it up. See what happens. Can't be any worse than the way it's been going the last 8 games.
And of course, as we pointed out, Steve, earlier this year, Will Venable in right field for Cunningham. At Hurdle, after a big extra inning win earlier this season, he told his players not to report until 5 o'clock the following night.
Right.
He didn't want to see anybody in the clubhouse till 5.
Some of them got caught in traffic.
Yeah. He does do things differently, and as Dan said, not a slave to routine. 1-2 the count on McCutchen. Has been a grind. A lot of folks pointing back to that 19-inning game against the Braves last road trip.
I cannot buy that. I think that's the most ludicrous statement about the state of affairs for the Pirates I've ever heard.
This Pirates club won't get another day off until next Thursday. Their last day off was the 21st of July. 2-2 on McCutchen.
think there's any merit to that, but that comes from my foundation of thinking that excuses don't sell at the major league level. Saying that you're playing bad because of one ball game a week and a half ago.
And I think what some were the line drive, base hit for McCutchen to start the bottom of the 6th. I think the big point that Hurdle was making in terms of collateral damage from that game was mainly, I think, of the pitching staff. And that took such a toll on the staff, and of course then it trickles over to the next game. It wasn't just that one 19-inning game. That series included a 2-hour rain delay at the start, game 1. That 19-inning game was followed up by a 10-inning game. And the 4th game of the series in Atlanta, the Pirates won, had a 46-minute rain delay. It was an absolute grind. And Hurdle also pointed out, when it comes to, as his words, quote, collateral damage, the Pirates earlier in July had a doubleheader in Washington, D.C. that might have taken its toll for a while on the pitching staff. And today the Pirates get Brad Lincoln for reinforcements.
But wasn't that doubleheader before we had that wonderful run of pitching?
Mm-hmm. 2-0 count on Diaz. Had a double in the 4th. Now 2-1. So Tony Watson back down to AAA. And Steve, I don't think it was because Watson wasn't pitching well. He did a nice job.
Rob Johnson took a shot there.
Brad Lincoln recalled from AAA Indianapolis. 19 starts with Indy, 7-8, a 4.19 ERA, and Tony Watson 2.73 ERA. So he did good work, but the Pirates needed somebody who could perhaps even start. But right now available in the bullpen as they check out the catcher, Rob Johnson. Here's what Steve's talking about here on the AGH cam. That left shoulder.
Unprotected, away from the chest protector.
Well, Rob Johnson, talking about that when he was at the plate, underwent 3 offseason surgeries before the start of the 2010 season. He had a torn labrum in his right hip and his left hip. Also had surgery on his left wrist. What a 5-week stretch that was. 3 surgeries. Runner goes, picked off. And McCutchen decides to put on the brakes. Some believe it's best just to keep going and hope for a bad throw, but he put on the brakes as he is picked off. 1-3-6.
Andrew realizing he was dead duck there. Sees if he can create some chaos in the rundown.
See, that's a great angle there. If you think of McCutchen's speed, if he keeps going full speed ahead, that's going to be a lot closer. It's a great angle there. Two and two. Diaz struck out in the first. 80 pitches thrown by Corey Lupke. And it's a full count.
Unfortunately, it looks like this game is evolving into a pitcher's duel after the Padres established the 5-0 then 5-1 lead.
And Diaz goes down. 7 Ks.
So this youngster doing it as he picks off Andrew McCutchen and then gets Diaz to chase that high outside fastball.
Lupke struck out 8 Giants in his start July the 7th in San Francisco. over 6 innings. Walker has flied out and singled in the Pirates' only run. That was in the 4th. And a base hit. Past Bartlett. Neil Walker has only been in the big leagues for 2 seasons, but he's been a star to the people of Pittsburgh for years. Catch a special Inside Pirates Baseball Walk to the Park this Monday night at 9 on Root Sports. Ludwig to the plate. He's fly to the warning track and right, fly to center field, and takes a strike. A little grimace there, maybe thinking that ball was low.
4 hits last night, part of that 4 for 6.
Lupke has him in the hole 0-2. The ball and 2 strikes on Ludwig. Traded over from the Cardinals to the Padres last summer. Former 2nd round pick of the Oakland A's in 1999. And down on strikes he goes. Corey Lupke, 8 on the night, leading by 4.
Is sponsored by Day Automotive. We're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks.
First pitch strike to the pitcher Corey Lupke. Lupke has singled in 2 trips to the plate. Padres have out hit the Pirates 8-5. Chopper, Mahalam off the hill. And on to first. Infield hit for Lupke.
And he runs well.
As you said, they all do.
They all do. Breaker, Stake, and Lupke.
Yeah.
Little chop, and Paul gets it, but he is on the move in the wrong direction, has to set himself. And Not able to make that play.
One of the third baseman, probably with his momentum coming in.
Better angle to throw from.
Yep. Brandon Wood, probably a better shot at recording it out there. With Mahalam's momentum going away from the bag. A tough play either way.
Yep. No, kind of no man's land.
Tough play, a chopper, an infield hit. And to right, Diaz. As Maben lines out. Well, Mahalam has gotten efficient real quick in the last 3+ innings.
Just hope the horse is not too far down the street and they got out of the barn. 2 spot in the second, 3 more in the fourth. You can't say they were really tainted in the fourth inning. The 2-run double by the catcher. First base is open, but I know the philosophy. If you get him out, then you got an easy, comparatively easy out. Maybe you can leave those runners. But then the ground ball to shortstop certainly didn't go well. That created run number 5.
0-2 on Bartlett.
But again, you go back to the fact, that being said, the Pirates 1 run. Got to be more offense. Simple as that.
Another chopper. That's the second out. Wood to Pierce. Lupke now at second base. And Mahalam faces Chase Headley. Pirates have bullpen action.
Would you even possibly think of this name of this man without thinking of Blazing Saddles?
No.
Headley Lamar.
Yep.
Headley.
On Chase Headley. Pickoff try. Close. Quick tag from Walker.
Pitchers running the bases. There's a coach everywhere but second base. You're on your own for the most part. AGH cam shows that it's back safely. Little floater in there, just under 70 miles an hour as Paul approaches his 100th pitch. Excuse me, 99th. Indeed, let's go Bucks.
Garrett Jones might have a chance later on. He's certainly available off the bench. 2-1 count on Headley. A career high 5-hit game here at PNC Park, September of 09. And hit his first career grand slam last night. 3-1.
It's going to be interesting. The Pirates going on a trip to San Francisco and Milwaukee to see the new and reinvented Ryan Vogelsong Monday night, scheduled to start against the Pirates, his former team.
Last night there was a benches clearing brawl involving the Giants and the Phillies. Shane Victorino was hit by a pitch for really no reason. He had homered, I think, his previous at bat. And Victorino not a showboat at all. Still haven't heard as to why they would be hitting Victorino.
Maybe pitch got away.
Didn't look like it. Jimmy Rollins had stolen a base, the team up 6, so something that might have been the reason. Chopper off the tip of Brandon Wood's glove. That's a ball he's got to catch. Even if he catches it and they don't get an out at first, they certainly don't score a run. And out is 6-1, and another tainted run against Mahalam.
Check it out. The high bounce, he goes back. And in that situation, you're retreating for sure, but in retreating, you've got time to measure that ball, come down with it, you save the run.
Clint Hurdle going to go to the bullpen. Paul Mahalam, well, tough luck.
By Levin Furniture, home of the Tempur-Pedic, the most recommended mattress in America. Let's go Bucks!
Getting ready for Sky Blast. Paul Mahalam now thinking about post game. He's thinking about what happened to him tonight. And there's his line to this point.
On the hook, Chris Resop comes on to work. Pirates down by 5 in the top of the 7th inning. And Chris Resop coming in, and one of his first orders of business is keep track of Headley at first base. 2 outs, everything settled down. They got a cheap run. Maybe they're thinking about trying to get another one and would send him. The numbers for Chris, what you don't see is 6 home runs, one of which was the one that really hurt the other night, the Starlin Castro home run that beat the Pirates 1-0 as he came on to work in a scoreless game in the 8th inning.
$13 steals now for Headley on the year.
Not much of a lead on that toss over to first base. Still modest. Very modest.
Oh, 1-1 on Jesus Guzman.
Very good angle to look at the base runner. Still a modest lead.
Guzman, 36 games with the Padres this season. One of the players that they received in the Adrian Gonzalez trade from Boston, Anthony Rizzo, who was, they hope, the long-term answer at first base. Hit just a .143 and 98 at bats, so he was returned to the minors. So this 27-year-old native of Caracas, Venezuela, getting a chance. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count on Jesus Guzman. Adrian Gonzalez, his new club, the Boston Red Sox, beat the Yankees 10-4 at Fenway, beat up on CC Sabathia. There's a tie atop the American League East. The Yankees and Red Sox.
No surprise there?
Nope. And a hit through the right side, a big hole. Just a ground single for Guzman. 2 aboard for Orlando Hudson.
And this team that can't supposedly hit is in double figures again. 15 last night, 11 so far tonight. We are in the 7th inning.
Everybody in the starting lineup tonight for San Diego has at least 1 hit. That includes Corey Lupke, the pitcher, who has 2 of the 11 hits.
You know, the age-old question too, Greg, are they hitting that good? Are they that good, or is our pitching that bad? And you know what? They're not hitting against anybody else.
Yeah. Hudson, a couple of hits and 3 at bats, a couple of runs scored. Came into the series hitting .235. You look at the other averages, not to make light of these major league hitters, but kind of to go along with Steve's point. Hudson hitting .235, a veteran, then the younger players, Aaron Cunningham, 182. Kyle Blanks, 135. Rob Johnson, 201. The pitcher, Lupke, 063, 1 out of 16. And he has 2 hits tonight. Now 1 and 2. As Hudson bats from the left side, where he hits just .226. 2 on, 2 out. The Pirates down by 5 in game 2 of this 3-game series. And now 2 and 2. The Padres beginning a 10-game 3-city road trip. Their win last night. After tomorrow, they'll go to New York for 4 and then finish off in Cincinnati. The Pirates, after tomorrow, begin that road trip we talked about into San Francisco, starting on Monday for 3, and then to Milwaukee. Kevin Correa, the former Padre, looks for his 13th win. He'll be opposed by Matt Latos. He's 5-11. Correa beat the Padres earlier this season. That was at Petco. Correa just 2-7 at PNC Park this season, 10-2 on the road. They've thought about all kinds of things that they could do. Clint Hurdle talked about it the other day, changing the routine. Kiddingly, they talked about him wearing a visiting jersey, maybe even staying overnight in a hotel. Trying to come up with answers. It really doesn't make a lot of sense. This is a pretty good, normally fair anyway, pitcher's ballpark. This isn't a pitcher's park like Petco. It's a pretty fair yard. You can pitch in it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Line drive left center, and another run will score. 7-1.
And you get down to cases, it's still 60 feet 6 inches, no matter what the buildings look like around you.
Closes the book on Paul Mahalo. He's charged with 7. And a dozen hits for the Padres. Leading 7-1. Here is Will Venable. His first at bat. Took over for Cunningham and Wright.
You know, Tony Gwynn's over in the booth next door enjoying what he's seeing from his Padres. A lot of balls hit to the opposite field. Tony was a master at that. Every night you watched him, you realized how well he could handle the bat. It just almost seemed like he could do what he wanted to do with the bat. And that was so impressive for so many years.
Career batting average of .338. You and I were talking, Steve. His last season was 2001. And, a lot of players end their careers on their waning years, perhaps.
Playing a year too much.
Yeah. He was his last game he played in 2001. He was hitting .324 that year in 2001.
Yeah. Different guys have different standards, and want to go out where they know they can do the job. There have been examples of guys playing too long. Back the cases of what they had Mickey Mantle trying to play first base at the end. I think Willie Mays tried to play first base at the end. And that's not such an easy position. And, it became embarrassing at times for two of the all-time greats.
Two and two. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. Will Venable. Last night was 3 out of 5. Drove in a pair. And it's 3 and 2. Venable, who played at Princeton, played both baseball and basketball at Princeton. Former teammate of Ross Ohlendorf. We'll find out more tomorrow from Neil Huntington about whether Ohlendorf will make another rehab start, sounding as though he will. And now they are loaded as Resop walks Venable. Loaded for Kyle Blanks.
And the Pirates are hearing it from the fans here. The love affair of 2011 is being tested.
Joe Beimel going to get working here, and Ray Searage is going to go out and check in. Give Beimel some time. Throw some warm-ups. Get loose. Well, if you saw Resop after giving up that home run to Starlin Castro the other day, he went back to the dugout, and it was about as good a blow-up by a Pirate as we've seen in a long time. He was letting off a lot of steam.
And you hope that by doing that he got it out of his system, but almost getting it feel like it's a carryover. This is the first appearance since then. Yeah. And trying to fight his way through it.
Kyle Blanks, his team up 7-1. And ball 1 on the big man. third base. Guzman, he singled. Hudson, RBI single, is at second, and a walk to Venable. Now it's 2-0, and you can see Rysop is really fighting it. He had a rough stretch earlier this year after getting off to a fine April. Struggled a bit in May. 2-3 outings, said I'll figure it out. He did. He bounced back, but now he, like really the rest of the pitching staff, trying to fight through. Two and one on Kyle Blanks.
It's tough enough right now. 6 down, 3 more at bats. Any more damage is more than collateral.
Line drive to left field. That is a lot of trouble. And a line drive grand slam for Kyle Blanks. Wow. Kyle Blanks, who homered first of the season last night, hits a line drive this time. And now the Pirates are really hearing it. 11-1.
The San Diego Padres unloading 2 nights in a row on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Unloading. Double switch.
Back-to-back games in which the Padres hit grand slams. Moving from right. And Jones, Garrett Jones now in right field. Final bat in the 4th spot had been Ryan Ludwig's. $11 runs, 13 hits after San Diego put a pounding on the Pirates last night, 15-5.
Yeah, after a while, you just really don't know what to say. I mean, you really don't know what to say.
You are correct, sir.
Sorry.
Nothing you can say.
And old stories don't seem to get it right now.
What Neil Huntington and Clint Hurdle and the coaching staff and everybody else will continue to do is to try and fight through it. And whether that means changes. We saw one today, not because anything Tony Watson didn't do, but it's an overworked bullpen. They needed a fresh arm. They brought up Lincoln. But now the combination, even though the Pirates did last night collect 15 hits, they only scored 5 runs. They were 3 for 16 with men in scoring position. It's a combination, it seems, where the offense, for the most part, not going to score you a lot of runs. And now the pitching staff is being beaten up. Rob Johnson with the final out. One of the biggest ovations of the night. And as Bimo gets the last out in the top of the 7th inning, and it's 7th inning stretch time here at PNC Park.
Follow the bouncing Eaton Park Smiley Cookie and join everyone watching at home on Root Sports as we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Shots from the AGH cam. Alberto Gonzalez over at third base. (11-1) San Diego. Go to the bottom of the 7th, and it's Steve Pearce. Ball, 1 strike to count on Pierce, and has fly down and struck out.
Fans down below is calling for Bob Walker to come in. Bob's in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Here's a fly ball to center. Up Brandon Wood. Well,
hard to keep up with those 4-run home runs, isn't it?
Sure looks as though this is not a bulletin. Pirates are going to drop their 9th straight. Had a 12-game losing streak at one stretch last year. Keep thinking back to that adage that you're never as good as you are when you're going good. You're never as bad as you are when you're going bad. So
I'm clinging to that adage,
yeah.
but it's by my fingernails.
I know. But it does seem like that when you're on a roll.
Maybe this season. Maybe
when you're
this
on a
season
roll in baseball, it does seem like you think about all the good things that are happening. You're good pitching, you're timely hitting, you're fielding well, everything's going good. I can't see how we could lose.
Yeah, you expect
when you're in the middle of a losing streak, it's like I can't figure out how this team's ever going to win again.
That's the mentality you have, and that original thing you said is kind of a wraparound of this entire season. Were we as good as we were, or as bad as we are now? And it's a hypothetical question, certainly,
but those are the questions that the management, they really have to figure that out. That's why they go
through
all
bad, or were we that good?
They go through all the numbers, and Neil Huntington kept pointing that out leading up to the trading deadline, when the Pirates were 7 games over 500, never got caught up in it. So this is great, this is good, but we have a lot of work to do. They kept saying that. We have a lot of work to do. And work will be cut out for Kevin Correa tomorrow. And what do they do? Well, again, find that out from Neil Huntington tomorrow. What are they planning on doing with some of these starters? Clint Hurdle said they've discussed possibilities of maybe skipping a guy. They aren't going to go to a, quote, 6-man rotation, but they might find ways to give some pitchers some extra time off by skipping them maybe more than once, or adding someone perhaps like a Lincoln. Interesting that he did not use Lincoln at all tonight. Maybe he was waiting in case Mahalam didn't even give him 5 or 6.
And you never know what's going through the manager and the coaching staff in terms of how they approach this. They might have something in mind, and I have no reason to suspect this, for tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah,
in terms of giving Correa maybe an extra day or
I was
2.
wondering that myself, and I asked folks in the PR department, is Correa still scheduled? And they said yes, but I wondered that, whether they might decide to skip him tomorrow.
Sometimes those decisions are made down in the managerial office, and they'll let you know when they figure it's time to let you know. And we're not speculating that that's the case either. Not projecting it.
Right now, Correa scheduled tomorrow, and this nice play made by the new third baseman. Adalberto Gonzalez retires Cedeno, and the Pirates go in order. Torey Lupke has given up just the 1 run. Tomorrow, the finale of the homestand against these Padres on the air at 1. And then on the road, AT&T Park in San Francisco for 3 against the Giants. 2 night games and 1 afternoon. Note the air times there here on Root Sports, 9:30 Monday and Tuesday nights, and then 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon before the Pirates continue that trip into Milwaukee. We were talking there moments ago about Correa scheduled to go tomorrow, and then Charlie Morton slated for Monday night against Ryan Vogelsong. Tuesday night, James McDonald against Madison Bumgarner. And then Wednesday afternoon, Jeff Karstens opposing Jonathan Sanchez. But that all could change if the Pirates decide to do something in terms of Brad Lincoln making a start. It would be the second of the season for Lincoln. Logan Forsythe as a pinch hitter for Lupke, who goes 7 strong innings.
Giving up a run on 5 hits.
And this toward the left center gap. Pinch hit double.
Lupke struck out 9, did not walk a batter. Here's the double to the gap, and the hits just keep on coming for the Padres. You wonder if they wonder what's going on with their bats.
And here's Cameron Maben. Ugly game tonight here at PNC Park. Dan Uggla extended his hitting streak. 27 straight games, a base hit. I'll give you some scores here in a moment.
So ironic, he probably got his average up to what, 240 now?
Yeah.
230?
Hitting below 200 when the Pirates were in Atlanta. Dropped by Cedeno. There on the shortstop. And here are these scores presented by the Meadows Racetrack and Casino. The Brewers lead Houston. Prince Fielder at his 25th. 2-1 Cardinals over the Marlins in the 7th inning. Albert Pujols went deep. Cubs beat up on the Reds. Johnny Cueto. 2-1 the Phillies. Cole Hamels beat Matt Cain. Braves over the Mets in the 4th inning. Rockies have a 4-run lead over the Nats. Dodgers and Diamondbacks are tied up in Arizona in the 4th. Scores from the National League. Arizona half game back of the Giants the start of the day in the National League West. With the Phillies winning that one for the time being, they're in a virtual tie, the D-backs and the Giants. One more home game and then on the road, the way things are going, that song by Train, Save Me San Francisco, might be appropriate for the Bucks. Hopefully get a W tomorrow and snap what will be a 9-game losing streak. Bartlett count of 1-2. 39,251 the paid attendance, another sellout. .5-3 on the ground ball. RBI. 12-1. And our PNC achievement is for fan support. The Achiever in You. Season total 1.38. Average nearly 25,000. Largest crowd 39,511 against Boston. Games over 39,010. 14 sellouts. Tonight's attendance 39,251. PNC achievement brought to you by PNC for the Achiever in You. a dozen in for San Diego.
And one away from their hit total from last night.
And there it is.
Scratch that.
And they will hold the runner at third base. Showing a little bit of mercy. Base hit for
Gonzalez. Is that Gonzalez in there?
Yeah, Alberto Gonzalez in there for Headley. Guzman 1 for 4. Alex Presley hoping to begin a rehab before too long. Bimo pitched the 9th inning last night. Hit a man, gave up an infield single. He's given up one here in the 8th. He pitched to one batter on Thursday. The other issue here, Clint Hurdle has a steadfast rule. He will not use a pitcher on the 4th day if he has worked 3 straight days. Under any circumstance, he has said. Rule he will not break, so obviously Bimo would not be available tomorrow.
It almost seems like there's a lot of guys recently in that category.
Yeah. Well, Gurley's not available tonight, he said. And he couldn't use Tony Watson because all the work Watson has had. So that's one of the reasons, I guess you'd say, that they optioned him down to the minors. You talk about that term collateral damage. That's what you're talking about right there. Using a guy so much, your bullpen so overused that you're forced to send him down to the minor leagues despite an ERA of under 2.5.
Yep.
And a fly ball to center field that falls in. It has affected everyone. Starters, relievers.
Ripple effect. When your starters don't go, it blows up your rotation, it blows up your bullpen, and you're forcing your hitters to play catch up night after night after night. And that's what we've been seeing for so many years.
(13-1) after losing 15-5 last night.
Scorecard looks like the bottom of a parakeet cage. It's a mess.
That describes it.
Too much, yeah.
A mess.
The evening.
Well, this is a little bit reminiscent of that series in April of last year here at PNC Park against the Brewers. That was a 3-game series. The Pirates lost 8-1, 8-0, and 20-0.
That's a little perspective, isn't it? Goodness. And of course, the Brewers winning again tonight, 6-4 in the 7th inning down in Houston.
Well, keep in mind this homestand, which started out against the Chicago Cubs on Monday, Pirates lost that one 5-3. Even though the Pirates out-hit the Cubbies 10-7, they lost Tuesday night 11-6. They gave up 21 hits on Tuesday. Then that 1-0 game Wednesday, lost 7-6 Thursday. 15-5 and now 13-1. Padres scored a season high 15 runs last night. The most hits they've had in a ball game. They actually had 23 hits against the Brewers in Milwaukee on May the 11th. That was a game they won 13-6 over the Brewers. Two and two on Orlando Hudson. 8th inning and looking for 2 more outs. And I guess, Steve, the question comes up because I know how you feel about it. I'm going to have to ask you. We discussed this with Bob the other night on TV. At what point do you start getting these guys off the plate, hitting the dirt? Well, I know it's frustrating and that the horse is out of the barn. But Beimel hit Luis Martinez leading off the 9th inning last night. Is that just silly to consider that?
The only thing I'm thinking about, there's been 1 home run. I mean, if they're just having the long ball all over the place, then
so it's more about home runs than it is
to me. It is, or driving the ball, gap shot after gap shot. I mean, swinging from your heels. I don't think these are aberrations of normal swings.
So let's watch Hudson. Now it's just 2 and 2. We should have paid. Watch Venable next. Away. 3 and 2.
The question I'm wondering about: do you get in a point where you start putting in a position player to pitch?
And that has been, I think, the last, if I'm not mistaken, the last position player to pitch for the Pirates, I believe, was Keith Osick. But managers try to really stay away from that at home. I mean, under any circumstance, but especially for home games, if they do it. But the last time I think it was done at home, and hopefully we won't have to worry about that as they get 1 and they get 2. And the Padres get 2 more runs. Unfortunately, that's the deal. Subway, in case you missed it, some news and notes around Major League Baseball tonight, obviously on a Saturday night. Very busy evening in the big leagues. Juan Nicasio was hit by a line drive last night, the pitcher, and underwent neck surgery, a fractured vertebrae. Serious but stable condition. Colorado Rockies pitcher. Jay Happ has been optioned to AAA Oklahoma City. The lefty going 4-14 in 22 starts with Houston and a 6.26 ERA. The former Philly and current Philly left-hander Cole Hamels allowing 1 run, complete game victory over the Giants. 13-6 now on the year. Jair Jurgens has been placed on the DL with a strained right knee, as ERA has gone up to 2.63 after leading the league for a while. And another note here, the A's Coco Crisp, career high 4 steals through 4 innings. The A's lead the Rays 5-0 in the 7th.
That's all they've got. I mean, he's been up every inning. He only had 5. Oh, I'm sorry, in the 7th inning. 7th inning.
Up to 4 for 4. I imagine, Ricky Henderson probably has the record. I can't believe it's more than 5. Can't believe it is 5, but certainly Coco Crisp chasing history. Forsythe stays in the game, plays second. New pitcher, Eric Cameron, who last night came on with a gigantic lead and walked 3 straight in the 7th inning.
Trying to get this youngster acclimated to life in the big leagues. Bud Black was as patient as he could be last night, but then had to go get him.
Lupke, no walks, 9 strikeouts. Fly ball to right. Venable. Easy play. Retires McHenry. And will be Garrett Jones. Blake Teacott is in center field now. And Xavier Paul ran down between innings to the bullpen, Steve. You're talking about when it gets to that point and they're close. Somebody is loosening in the bullpen. There's Jose Veras. Managers hate to do it, but sometimes it becomes an absolute necessity in terms of bringing in a position player to pitch. Leading in the 8th inning 6-4 at Houston. Cardinals leading in the 7th inning 2-1 over Florida Marlins. Trying to stay 3 back. If the Cardinals win, the Pirates will fall 9 back. Cincinnati has already lost. The Reds would drop to 9.5 games back. Fly ball to left, hit deep. And out of here, an opposite field home run for Garrett Jones. And they have something to cheer here.
When you look back at the last, 15-20 at-bats for Garrett Jones, he was swinging a half bat. Little consolation here, but maybe just a little flicker of what Garrett Jones is capable of in his last couple dozen ABs.
13th home run. 6 of his last 7 hits have gone for extra bases. Homered twice on Tuesday.
Carrying breeze to left field. Jonesy catches it.
Alvarez as they approach the pitcher spot. Look at Bartlett. Two outs.
Number 13 for Garrett Jones, AGH camera. His power to the opposite field. I don't think there's ever been any doubt that he can go long ball in that direction.
The big man blanks into that left field wall hard.
I was just thinking of that, him trying to take out the padded wall.
Yeah. Garrett Jones, no slouch himself. Jones 6'4", 6'5", 240. The blanks 6'6", 272. The biggest player you played with, Steve?
Biggest player I played with? Biggest player.
How big was Dick Stewart? Was he pretty, not necessarily a big guy? Not really, huh?
Yeah, he had good size. Willie Stargell, big man. Probably Bob Veal, maybe Bob Veal. Biggest guy I ever played against, Frank Howard, for the Dodgers. Huge man.
Naya strikes out. Throw to first to complete the K. Home run by Jones. And it's 13-2. Series against Chicago, that was no good. Swept in the 4-game series. San Diego now will have a chance to sweep tomorrow afternoon, and the Bucks hit the road. Giants and Brewers, and then home against the Cardinals, Reds, Brewers, and back on the road in St. Louis, in Houston.
road ahead is bumpy. Challenge.
Jose Veras trying to finish up. And it's Will Venable.
Joe Lamo works an inning and a third, giving up 3 hits, a couple of runs, one of which was earned. Veras pitching now, pitcher number 4 for the Pirates this evening.
Walker.
You kind of lose track, Greg, of how much fun it can be when you pitch and hit. But when you don't pitch and you don't hit, that's the double whammy. That's the 1-2 punch, and that's what's happening here tonight.
Yeah, the Padres are feeling good of that combination, right?
Yeah, they've got the opposite thing going. Yeah. They're pitching well and hitting well, and it's fun. They're rolling right along.
Xavier Paul up in the bullpen. Here's Kyle Blanks looking up Frank Howard's numbers. 6'7", 255 for Frank Hondo Howard.
Also pitched against Ron Reed, former NBA player, who's a pitcher for the Atlanta Braves.
Reed was 6'6", 215. Of course, John Roush, the tallest pitcher ever, 6'11". But in terms of
mass,
overall size
Howard
and
was
mass,
up there.
exactly right. Well, Dave Parker was big, strong, Cobra. He was here last night at the Trib Total Media Hall of Fame Club. He was 6'5", 230.
He was tending bar, and you better tip him.
Oh, brother. Ronnie Cedeno, what looks like to the fans a kind of a lackluster.
That was.
And that's not obviously what you want to see anytime, but especially. Oh, yeah. He didn't even bend down.
These are the kind of situations we saw Bobby Cox remove Andrew Jones from a ball game in the middle of an inning.
How much you will make a bet Ronnie Cedeno's not in the starting lineup tomorrow?
I don't think I can take that bet.
Glenn Hurdle has sent messages this year. Earlier this year, he benched Cedeno and later benched Andrew McCutchen. Certain standards you have to abide by.
And he doesn't get, I mean, he's angry about it, but he said, well, matter of fact, that's the way it is.
And they both handled it. I mean, really, Cedeno and McCutchen both handled it very, very professionally.
The thing is, in this kind of a ball game, it's a draggy ball game. You're getting your face ripped off so hard. You have to fight that impulse or desire, whatever it is. Just the shoulders go down.
Give up.
What difference does it make? Well, you know what? There's people have bought a lot of tickets here tonight.
That's exactly right.
Effort is respected.
Respected, expected. Veras walks. Johnson. Now faces Logan Forsythe. Walker over to talk with Veras. Karsten's last night. 3 1/3, 9 runs, 9 hits. His shortest outing of the year.
And then it comes back after you get into the bullpen, deep into the bullpen, and Paul, 6 2/3 innings.
By the way, Steve, there is going to come a point here, and that's the other thing about the error by Cedeno. Again, managers hate using position players anytime, but it's just another pitch, more pitches that Veras has to throw. And there is a limit that Clint Hurdle has in terms of how many pitches he'll let Veras go tonight. And with 1 out, 2-1 count, he's close to using Xavier Paul.
Yep.
There he is. Pirates outfielder Xavier Paul.
I wonder what kind of breaking ball Xavier has. I hope we don't find out.
Three and 2. And he got him. But Hurdle is pacing. He is, again, they're watching in terms of the pitches thrown by Jose Veras.
Pirate manager working that gum over pretty good too right now. There's a lot of things going through his mind right now.
I stand corrected. Abraham Nunez was the last position player to pitch for the Pirates. That was in 2004, May 30th, against Chicago.
I think, is it Blake Ticati? Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think his nickname is? Mr. Teak? Finally found another Teak. Well, there's only one real Teak. Or Kent Ticati.
Well, Teak got the other side of it. Teak got knows how it feels to go from the mound to left field, and you do that. You did that once too in your career, didn't you?
Yeah, we both went to play left field for a bit.
Now, Teak did that in 1979 and went back in,
yep,
right?
I went back in. Yep, I did it in '68. Strange out there. Feel lonely.
Now I'm trying to think. I don't think Teak did go back in. I think he actually caught the last out.
Okay.
In San Francisco.
Okay. Maybe he was just going to come in.
Had the inning continued to face a righty. And what was your situation? Why did you go out in the outfield?
Elroy got traded on a Friday night to Detroit, but he needed one more appearance to set a record for appearances either in the National League or for the Pirates. So the next day I started against the Braves and faced a batter or two. He came in. I went to left field. He faced one batter, left. I came back in to pitch. Braves didn't score, didn't get a complete game or a shutout.
How about that?
That's all right. Still,
yeah.
It's still a very good win.
And strike 3 called. So they don't have to go to Xavier Paul. Into the bottom of the ninth, 13-2. As they get ready for Sky Blast and train. Anthony Bass will finish things up for San Diego. Just to go back to that Tekulve playing left field September 1st, 1979 against the Giants at Candlestick Park. Chuck Tanner put him out in left field in case Grant Jackson did not retire the left-hand hitter Darrell Evans. Had he not, then Teague would have faced the next hitter in the lineup, but Teague again caught the ball the last out, the put out, as Evans hit the ball the other way to then left fielder Kent Tekulve. Here's Anthony Bass facing Neil Walker.
Mine cost me a shutout, and it hurt because the season record for right-hand shutouts is 7, and I wound up with 7.
Wow. Wild stuff.
Well, here we are in the bottom of the 9th inning. To start it all over again tomorrow and hope to break the spell.
One out. Between innings. Hurdle over to talk to Ronnie Cedeno.
And he's saying he came up on the ball and the ball stayed down.
Pedro Alvarez batting for Veras.
I have no idea what that discussion was about, but when I screwed up pitching and the manager came over to talk, it was a one-way conversation.
You did a lot of listening, huh?
I never, there's not much you want to say when the manager's not happy with what you're doing. I mean, you can revisit it the next day, but usually when the manager comes to talk to you and things have not gone well, it's a pretty good idea to let him do all of the talking. And miseries continue for Pedro.
Steve Pearce. Pierce, a little mini victory, a little base hit. Just his third in his last 29 at bats. But he looks for any positive. Base hit. Just the 8th hit of the 9th for the Pirates. Out hit 16-8. Cedeno 0 for 3. Hits for the Padres, 13 runs. Big night for Kyle Blanks. RBI triple in the second, bringing in their first of 2 runs, and then his first career grand slam, a line drive homer in the 7th. So a 5 RBI night for Kyle Blanks. He's getting a great opportunity the last 2 months of the season as they traded Ryan Ludwig here to Pittsburgh and opening up left field for Blanks. 3-1 now on Cedeno. Last night 5 RBIs for Chase Headley. And that'll go out of play. Padres figured they would struggle this season when they traded Adrian Gonzalez. And they have their overall record of 49-64, about ready to win their 50th. A little mini 3-game winning streak for them before they started this road trip. They beat the Dodgers at Petco. Pirates, longest losing streak since dropping 12 straight last summer. Mahalam, Resop, Beimel, and Veras. Popped up, foul territory, and that is that. We'll stick around here for the Sky Blast. But the Pirates pounded by the Padres in Pittsburgh. Post-game, Pirates post-game is next.